Hey everyone, this is Johnny MD, and I'm really excited to show you a new feature by Shopify called Shopify Exchange Marketplace, where you can actually buy and sell dropshipping stores that are built already on Shopify. And what's really cool is they have really something for everyone's budget. So this store is selling for $100 and it's had $100 in revenue. So it really is just like a pre-built store without much in terms of actual sales and provability, but you can actually buy stores that have been, actually generating sales. So for this one, for example, this one has $2,000 in sales already, and they're selling it for $1,000. So the way I actually found Shopify Exchange is, if you guys remember, about a year ago, me and a bunch of partners decided to start dropshipping stores together as kind of an experiment. So some of those stores have now been selling. Actually, we've now sold, I think, 4 of them. And one of them just sold on Shopify Exchange for $6,000. So the reason why that one sold for $6,000 is because it had quite a bit of actual sales throughout the year. And some months were pretty profitable. I think our best month was about $609 in net profit. But we've also had some really bad months where we overspent on ads for products that are out of stock. And the reason why this happened was because I honestly wasn't paying attention at all to the store. I helped build it back in last December, so about 10 months ago. But then I completely just left it to the partner. And unfortunately, or I guess fortunately, he has other stores that he's running that he owns 100% of. And he focused his attention on those. And we kind of just dropped the ball on this. So we had a couple really bad months. And last month was actually another good month. It was $500 in profit. So we decided, hey, let's just sell the store because neither of us are paying attention to it. And let's just take $6,000 in profit for just building and having the store. So it's a great place to find stores like that. The ones that have been built by people who know what they're doing, have been through it already. Either they've been through a course like Anton's, or they've been through a course on how to dropship from places like AliExpress. They've proven the model, they've spent money on ads, they've tested things, they've gotten suppliers, they built up the site, they've maybe even optimized it, and they decided to sell it for one reason or another. So let me actually show you some of these stores. So I don't worry too much about these categories, but what I really care about is actually how it is fulfilled. So I really like dropshipping stores. And the reason why is because I'm location dependent. I built my stores when I was in Thailand. I'm now on the Canary Islands here in Europe, and I'm still making money through my e-commerce stores, even though I'm just traveling and working from my laptop. So that's why I really like it. So let's actually take a look at some of these stores. All right, so the very first thing I want to do is set some filters. Now, if you're on a super tight budget, honestly, I wouldn't even bother buying one of these stores from $0 to $250, because if you do, these are not going to have any actual sales. They're not going to have any revenue. These are really just going to be a template. And to be honest, it's better for you to learn how to create your own store and input your own items and do a template. I'll have links below to a free course by Shopify that actually teaches you how to create that. And if you want to do it right, you can join something like Jay Ketsu's course, which I'll also link below. And these will teach you how to create stores, and you can it's much better to spend $50 on, let's say, Jay Ketsu's course, for example, where he teaches you how to do it, or just go through Shopify's free course and just go through that yourself and build these templates yourself, than to go through this. And if you want to take a look, let's see, for example, this isn't even on a domain. There's definitely something wrong with this, even though it has $1,000 in revenue. For a store like this, it's anything that doesn't have much revenue is not going to be worth you buying. You want to buy a store that is established, that they've proven it. I mean, that's what you're buying a store for. Don't buy a store just because you're too lazy to learn how to use the backend of Shopify, because you're going to need to know how to do that anyways. You're going to need to know how to make changes and edits and optimize a store, either through design or just adding products. So don't skimp on that. Basically, any of these stores that sell for less than $250 are just going to be a template. It's really going to be made by someone who doesn't really know what they're doing, and they're just throwing together. Don't do that. Instead, I want you to focus on anything between $250 and up, basically up to whatever your maximum budget is, right? So I think the sweet spot is actually going to be around here, the $500 to $2,500, where you can find a store that probably has a good amount of revenue and it's been proven with actual, ads they've sent it to, and has a lot of room to grow. The best stores are actually going to be kind of closer to these ranges. I sold my first store for $60,000. Actually, the first one was $57,000, and the second store was a little bit over $60,000. So obviously, the $1,000, $10,000 and up stores are going to be the best ones where you can actually buy a real established business. But really, for the point of this video is more just to find stores that are a good value for people starting out. And I'm going to assume that your budget is between $500 or up to a couple $1,000, maybe $10,000 maximum. So let's actually take a look at some of these stores to see what would be a good store versus a bad store. So first off, don't even look at stores that don't have any revenue. So let's not have the zero. You want to make sure it has $5,000 in sales or up, and obviously the more the better. And you also want it to be minimum 6 months old. So any of these other ones, you don't want a brand new site because it's just a template. There's no actual detail. So here's going to be stores that are going to do well. So actually, if you just take a look at this right here, even though I don't like that it's not on its own URL, they probably just moved it off. They probably wanted to keep their URL for whatever reason, and they're selling just the store itself. So what I really like about this is that you see they did really well in the beginning, and then they actually had a few months of no sales and even a dip. And what that means is for whatever reason, they were not paying attention during this time, or their ads weren't running or weren't correctly. So this actually kind of reminds me of the store that I just sold with my partner, where we did well, we made a bunch of sales, we didn't pay attention, and then we just spent some time reviving it just so we can sell it again. This might be a good deal. So you can actually take a look at the actual stores. But what I really like about Shopify Exchange is they show you the revenue, the traffic. I think if you want to find out what the actual net profit is, you have to message the seller and kind of get in more. But something like this would be worth looking into. And what's really cool is you can actually look at the store that's for sale, and you can see okay, has a decent template. I can say there's a couple things I can do right away to make this better. Like instead of having this red font here, I can make it better. It's cool that they have this kind of FOMO app going on, and you can see what you can improve on. That's really what you want to look at, is why is the store making sales and what can you improve on? So you can tell that this is some pretty cool stuff. If you kind of look into this, I'm willing to bet that this is one of their better selling items. First off, because it looks cool. It's really well done with the photos. They have everything up. A couple of things I can tell right away is if I put, instead of having this blurry image that looks a bit spammy, if I just had a better version of this, these icons, I can do better. There's no reviews. If I found reviews somewhere, and then that can help as well. So little things like this, you're like, okay, this is cool. And I bet you a lot of you are actually just getting an idea right now, well, why not just copy the store? And you could. And if you want to, you can even use my free Shopify trial. I'll have a link to it below, but it's basically shopify.com/JohnnyFD. That gives you a free trial, Shopify, as well as 20% off your monthly bill. So go ahead and just say, let me find these products. They're probably AliExpress products. So you can just import it with the Oberlo, and there's a free trial for that that I'll put below as well. So you can definitely do that. But what I really like about buying sites that are established is they've done the marketing and they've tested ads for you. In general, buying a site that has products publicly available to everyone on AliExpress is not going to give you any advantage. So the only real benefit is you're buying something that's been tested with ads, and you can kind of see, what you can do, little things you can do to improve and just save some time. The real good values are probably going to be a little bit harder to find here, but it's really going to be the ones that have suppliers either from the US or, whatever home country you're in, that don't just take anyone. So for example, the site we just sold has suppliers in the US, and because it's pretty hard to actually get approved by them, we actually had to prove ourselves, call in, get an account with them. It makes it so people can't just jump in and just start competing with us right away by selling things on, through AliExpress. So our average sale price was actually $700 per order, which also means that for us to make $3,000 in sales, it's not that many orders compared to having to sell 100 small items, which means you have a lot more customer service issues. So what I really like to look at are sites that are built more like the Anton method, where we have higher priced items. So you can sell less total products, have less customer service issues, and have some kind of a barrier to entry, so people can't just go on AliExpress and list their fidget spinners for sale, or their kind of like their cheap products for sale. But most of them are actually going to be this type of store, these kind of sunglasses. Honestly, for those type of stores, I would just build myself. I would go through one of the training courses that I mentioned, that I'll link below. It's just so you can get an idea of how to actually do it yourself. But this is a great place to get some ideas, see what works, and be like, okay, well, if this guy made almost $10,000 in sales, he must be doing something right. And you can take a look at the store and you can say, okay, the store looks great, has great images, has great color scheme, has a nice logo. You can see how they did in 1 month. Like, this is probably when fidget spinners were really hot in the beginning, and then it drops because they probably had trouble finding unique products. And that's kind of what I talked about earlier with being able to find unique products. All right, so have a look. Definitely take a look at some of the $10,000 stores, because even though it's nice to be able to buy a store for pretty cheap, to be able to find a good deal, really your end goal should be able to make a proper six-figure income through your dropshipping store eventually. So what I really, really like is to take a look at the big stores that are doing big numbers that are worth $10,000 or more. And the easy calculation is 27x monthly profit. So that's what I sold my 2 stores for, which is 27 times our monthly profit. And we got about $60,000 for them. And so you do the math, they were making more or less $2,000 or so dollars per month. I think our best month we made $5,000 in profit. Our worst months we made a little bit under $1,000. And here's a great way to see what works. So people that don't think that you dropshipping works in the Netherlands or Holland, you can see, well, this person made $14,000 in revenue and their store's worth 15 grand, or they're asking for it at least. That's probably working. And you can see what else has done well. So if you want to create your own store, I highly recommend taking a course, because that's how I learned how to do this. But if you want to invest money just buying a store, Shopify's exchange is really good. Some cheaper stores are on flippa.com, and then some higher end stores are on empireflippers.com. And those have been vetted. Those are sell for a little bit more expensive. So that's a great place to find kind of higher end stores. But this is a great place to start out. And best of luck. Let me know how it goes. For me, I think e-commerce and dropshipping was the best first way to get into online business. Now I can look at a store and tell you exactly why it works and why it doesn't. And these are great tools that I've been able to use kind of throughout all my different businesses now. And I'm $100,000 richer from selling all those stores. So I'm very happy about Shopify Exchange, and hopefully we'll be selling some more stores coming soon. See you guys in the next video. Leave a comment if you have any questions. I'm happy to help. Bye-bye.